Well, good morning, conservatives for McClendon Chisholm. It is a beautiful Monday morning, and welcome. I'm Robert Steinhagen, and it is great to have you with us today, or with me today. And I am going to launch right into what I want to talk about, which is we have early voting going on beginning today, and a lot of bluster has been going out by the left in McClendon Chisholm as expected, as typical of them. And the leading off in this has been our current mayor of McClendon Chisholm, Keith Short. Now, he's not leading off. He's just parroting more of the same political bluster and innuendo, misinformation that we always get. And so what I thought would be a good idea is to help the left in framing their arguments to not sound like they have no idea what they're talking about, because, well, frankly, they have no idea what they're talking about when it comes to facts or the truth. And I'm going to show you, first of all, I'm going to make a claim that Mayor Keith Short, is in office today because he violated Texas election law. So here's how I would make that case, and I think it's important that you can see for yourself what I'm talking about. So here's how I would make a case that Keith Short violated Texas election law to win the election. So first of all, I'd go to local government code, and this is political activities. While in uniform or on active duty, an employee of the fire or police department of a municipality may not engage in a political activity relating to a campaign for an elective office. For the purpose of this section, a person engages in a political activity if the person makes a political speech supporting or opposing a candidate, 2, distributes a card or other political literature relating to the campaign of a candidate, wears a campaign button, circulates or signs a petition for a candidate, solicits votes for a candidate, or solicits campaign contributions for a candidate. Well, of course, do I have any evidence of him doing anything like that? Well, of course I do. Why? Because I'm a conservative. I don't make false, baseless statements. But that's not what, in my opinion, is the most damning of all of the evidence that I have against our current mayor. The most damning is the fact that he worked in concert with a political action committee called Neighbors for McClendon Chisholm. And the consultant to his campaign, a lady named Deanna Kuykendall, was not just consulting his campaign, but was also consulting the Neighbors for McClendon Chisholm PAC. This is an empirical fact, and so let me just show you why I know and how I can prove that Mrs. Kuykendall was working with the Keith Short campaign. Because when we were pulling our names for who would be what position on the ballot, Mrs. Kuykendall represented Keith Short at that event. And there is her name. Keith Short is the candidate's name. Deanna Kuykendall is written right there where the signature line should be. She also represented Jim Bloom that day. Now, of course, the Neighbors for McClendon Chisholm PAC, we're familiar with, or you should be familiar with that. That's the political action committee that sent out all of the pieces that I have been debunking, that I have been refuting, not rebutting, but refuting. I've been focusing on each one of these issues that are going on line by line, right? I've shown you the empirical, irrefutable, incontrovertible evidence to show you why these are lies. We remember Neighbors for McClendon Chisholm PAC, right? They sent out these scurrilous lies. And don't forget this one. And of course, on the back of this one has the candidates. There's Keith Short right there. Well, this was the consultant for this was Deanna Kuykendall. The problem is, as I've said before, I can't prove it. See, I'm alleging something that I have absolute concrete evidence for if Neighbors for McClendon Chisholm was a political action committee that followed the law. Of course, the Neighbors for McClendon Chisholm Political Action Committee was created and run by Gary Moody, former mayor of McClendon Chisholm. He was the treasurer. former mayor of McLennan Chisholm, Michael O'Donegan, our father Michael O'Donegan, and of course, former councilman Steve Hatfield. Now, these men put a lot of money and raised a lot of money to go into mailboxes and create half-truths, misinformation about me, Wayne Orchard, and the city council in general. That was what they did. And they worked in concert with the Keith Short and Jim Bloom and the Herman Larkin campaigns. They worked side by side. That political consultant, by working in concert like that, that is a violation of Texas election law. Of course, we will never know, will we? Because they refuse to file any kind of financial documentation that is required by law, and which is why the state of Texas has fined the Neighbors for McLennan Chisholm PAC, where Gary Moody is the treasurer, $1,000 for violating Texas state law. Now, see, this is empirical. This is empirically based evidence that I'm presenting to you, and that's how an argument should be made. I'm going to show you the unhinged left, and I'm going to show you just two examples this morning. One is from Mayor Keith Short, and the other is from a member of the FU McLennan Chisholm site and its sister site, the McLennan Chisholm Friends and Family, two rogue sites that are designed specifically to divide the city. But here's the thing, and here's what I'm going to just show you. I'm going to show you what our mayor posted last night so that you can see for yourself what exactly he did and why his and the left has no regard whatsoever for the truth, for facts, for demonstrating and presenting facts of evidence, which is different than what I do on this show. As you see every day, if you've been watching, every day I present facts of evidence. They do not. This is what they do instead. They post on social media and they create these kinds of this kind of propaganda. Tomorrow starts early voting. I want to start by apologizing to the citizens of McLennan Chisholm for the drama that you have endured during this election. I personally do not agree with the unprofessional actions and misleading and often untrue statements made by council members Balcom and Turnbull and prospective candidate Day. Please research what you are being told. The three mentioned above, along with, hey, here I go, Robert Steinhagen, have tried to install fear, I think instill is what he means, and division in this great community we all call home, while misleading you with, what's the word he's using? Half-truths. Where did he get that from? Isn't that fun? Rest assured, as your mayor, I will be looking at all the actions done by these individuals, and if laws have been broken, I will request the appropriate action be taken. Do you see what's happened? Here is what the mayor is doing. He's presenting, and do you see his facts of evidence? Of course not, because he has none. What laws have been broken? None. But he wants to create innuendo. He wants to create conjecture, just to put that seed of doubt in your mind that maybe these people are acting in an unlawful way. I mean, goodness knows, Keith Short would never do that. The last thing Keith Short wants you to do is actually research. Because if you did research, if you watched any of the shows that I have created, you'll see that the links to all of the things that I post, they're right there. You can see it for yourself. You can see the facts of evidence for yourself. This is all the left has. Rest assured, as your mayor, I will be looking at all the actions done by these individuals, and if laws have been broken, I will request the appropriate action be taken. Of course he will. Of course. It's interesting. I find it. What I was excited to see this morning was a tweet by our president, Donald Trump. And I thought it was apropos for what is happening in our little city today. He writes, how do you impeach a Republican president for a crime that was committed by the Democrats? How do you impeach a former mayor by crimes that were committed by the current mayor? That's the question for us. That's what's happening here. Again, conjecture, innuendo, half-truths, all by the same liberal left that is epitomized by Mayor Keith Short, Herman Larkin, council members Herman Larkin and Jim Bloom, and of course their candidates for office, the Lorna Kippett, William Dahl, and Trudy Wassner. I was driving, just as an aside, I was driving by City Hall yesterday, and Trudy Wassner has literally made this campaign all about signs. She has literally made it impossible for anyone to put up their sign. She has, I don't know how many signs she has out there, but this is the pathology of thinking that this group has, that her only hope is putting out signs that are going to be seen by everyone at the polls. It's what you get. So here is the next example of the left coming unhinged. And again, I'm not trying to. I'm not posting the name of the person who wrote this, because I'm not trying to embarrass the individuals by name. They should be embarrassed because their actions are so ridiculous, which is why I'm calling this whole segment "You Can't Fix Stupid." And this is it. And this is what this individual writes. Good evening, fellow neighbors. Tomorrow begins early voting in one of the most important elections within our city's history. Now, I don't disagree with that, because if the liberal left gets one vote, it will change everything in our city. The liberal left will have a majority, and everything will turn, in my opinion. We have seen and heard, she continues, heard the two incumbents, Balcom and Turnbull, led by Steinhagen and Orchard, previously voted out mayor and council member respectively, is what she means to say there, along with newcomer Day, attempt to discredit and spread unbelievable lies about William C. Dahl III. Did anyone see the show I did just 2 days ago, I think it is, on William Dahl, on all of the facts? I presented facts of evidence to demonstrate without any doubt. It is irrefutable, incontrovertible facts, evidence of proof that William Dahl has no regard for the rule of law, but wants to be your member of city council so that he can enact laws against you. That's not what this individual is doing. That's not what she's doing. No. Again, let's look at the facts of evidence that she's presenting and those like her when they make these scurrilous arguments. Elect Lorna Kippett, McClendon Chisholm Council, Place 1, and Trudy Wassner from McClendon Chisholm City Council, Place 3. At a different time, I think she also means William Dahl. Don't forget that. William Dahl, I think he's running for 5th place. I'll help you out there. At a different time, these allegations may be laughable, but with so much riding on the outcome of this election, and more than likely the next few to come, it's actually heart-wrenching. As compassionate people, who's compassion? I'm just curious. We want to see the best in people, even when we may disagree. Okay, let's look at the best in people. We want to value mutual respect, and yet that very basic tenet has been thoroughly disregarded and actually belittled by Balcom, Day, and Turnbull. Steinhagen has created videos and mailers. Not true. Have I mailed anything? No. Again, a lie. Why? Because that's all the left has. This was written yesterday, folks. Filled with mailers, filled with videos and mailers filled with untruths, to the point that the Rockwall Sheriff's Office has identified the flyer as political propaganda versus truth-based information, and YouTube identified the versus truth-based information. No, he did not. That is an absolute lie. He did not identify it as political propaganda versus truth-based. No, he did not. Again, all he said was that this is political material. That's what he said. But she doesn't want you to hear that. Again, half-truths. And YouTube has even removed some videos due to terroristic messages. That is a complete and total lie. YouTube has not eliminated one of my videos. Not one. Who is it that was posting terroristic messages of terrorism, terroristic messages? This woman. And Daniel Lewis. People who are saying that this card is an act of domestic terrorism. They're the ones who are saying this. Again, she doesn't care about what's true. She doesn't care that she's the lying hypocrite here. She wants to present not just half-truths, absolute outright lies. This is slander. In other words, that group has proudly endorsed the messages shared and have even reshared, resulting in nothing more than political fear-mongering. And here we go, domestic terrorism. See, I told you, she says it. Domestic terrorism. And yet we have neighbors who believe this messaging. Of course they do, because there are some in our community who actually think that truth matters, that facts matter, that evidence matters, unlike what you present. What is fact? This person wouldn't know fact if it knocked her over the head. What is fact is these incumbents and Newcomer Day, and by the way, Newcomer Day, he's lived in McLennan Chisholm about a decade longer than you have. Newcomer Day are spreading actual lies, never one lie. And accusing Dahl, Kippett, and Wassner of being liberals. They are. Not just liberals. I'm accusing them of being liberals and leftists who participate in this. They're part of the group that you're writing this on. All of them are members of this group that you're writing this on. Yeah, they are liberals. When in actuality, both Day and Turnbull are factually registered as Democrats. As well as, okay, let's start with that one. Day and Turnbull are factually registered as Democrats. That is an impossibility. This individual has absolutely no idea, obviously, that you don't register in the state of Texas as a Democrat or Republican. You can choose to vote in either the Democrat primary or the Republican primary. You get to choose on each primary. You don't register. So look at how she writes it. Factually, all capital letters. Factually, she has no idea what she's talking about. That's just me being factually. And Mr. Day and Mr. Turnbull are, in fact, Republicans factually. Mr. Day and Mr. Turnbull actually factually support limited government. They support protecting open spaces. And I've actually shown you that the other candidates don't. Adrian Balcom, David Day, Scott Turnbull, all Republicans, all who are solidly conservative by their actions. But again, do you judge? I keep saying this every show. With the exception of yesterday, I think. Every show, I have asked the same question. Do you judge people by their words or by their actions? This woman believes words are more important. Why? Because she's a leftist, a complete and utter leftist. An unhinged leftist. As well, okay, so factually registered as Democrats can't be, impossible. As well as bringing up someone's faith in an attempt to what? Okay, who's bringing up someone's faith? This is news to me. What does anyone's faith have to do with anything? And yet that has apparently been made an issue by one of the incumbents to serve God only knows what her intention was. Well, since she's talking about the three candidates and that are conservatives that I support, and that she's belittling, that would have to be Council Member Adrian Balcom, who is a Christian. And yeah, unfortunately, I realize, this lady, I get it. I realize that you hate when people express their faith. I get that. I do. It's hard for you because you not only want to restrict people's freedom of speech, you also want to prevent people from expressing their faith joyfully. And that's really too bad. She goes on, we have to vote. There are multiple channels of information who have shared that these folks are intentionally going. Here's her evidence. Here's her facts of evidence. Okay. We're finally getting to where she's presenting facts of evidence. There are multiple channels of information. There are multiple propagandists out there who are writing lies like this on social media all over the place, who don't present facts of evidence. And if they do, by the way, it's an incredibly selective choice when they present their facts of evidence. Multiple channels of information who have shared that these folks are intentionally going after those who may not be strong-minded. Oh, okay. So they're saying that that the conservatives in this election are going after the dumb, the stupid. It begs the question, how stupid do you have to be? And I think you have to be irretrievably stupid, irretrievably so, to believe what Trudy Wasner and William Dahl and Lorna Kippett are perpetuating after seeing and learning about all of the facts of evidence. One would have to be irretrievably stupid to believe that they're actually conservatives, as this woman does. No, we're actually going after the strong-minded, the people who reason, who spend an hour watching these shows because they want to be informed and they're willing to open their mind. And they're also, a lot of them are listening to you and shaking their heads. I can't tell you how many emails I'm getting every day from people who are just leaving this Facebook group and people like this who are saying, this, I've had enough. They are unhinged. Let's see, going after those who may be strong-minded or even those who are unable to drive themselves and will gift them their ride to the polls in an attempt to sway their vote. Okay. Wow. Hey. Okay. I didn't even think about that. That is a great idea, though. That's a great idea. Do you need a ride to the poll? If you do, let me know, because I could probably give you a ride. She goes on, be strong, be heard, vote early. Voting starts at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning at McLennan Chisholm City Hall. Please knock on a neighbor's door who you may not know and invite them to go with you to vote. Are you going to take them in your car? I've been told there is no one more creative than a hypocrite trying to justify their actions. And this woman epitomizes hypocrisy. She writes, share the truth about what Dahl, Kippett, and Wasner are up against. Why not share what they've shown? Why not share their actions as conservatives? Why not just do that? See, that's how we combat you, this idiot. She's an idiot. The idiocy that goes into writing something like this dribble is beyond measure. Again, I haven't identified her, so if you're offended that I'm calling her what she is, what do you call this? That's what I call it. Idiocy. When we go up against, and when I present facts of evidence, when I show you what's really true, what have I done? I've shown you I've shown you what Adrian Balcom has done as a member of council, and I've shown you what Lorna Kippett has done to prevent what Adrian and Scott Turnbull and me and Wayne Orchard have tried to accomplish. I've shown you that William Dahl doesn't care about the rule of law. But I've shown you Scott Turnbull has led our city remarkably well in the area of finance and put us in a position where we have had, by the way, balanced budgets. And that you can thank Scott Turnbull for that. Yeah. I guess share the she says share the truth about what Dahl and Kippen and Wassner are up against. I would say share the lie. Share her lie about what Dahl and Wassner are up against. They are up against the truth. They are up against fact-based evidence. And then if we do not vote for change now, I think we all are fearful of what that could mean for our city going forward. The only thing that anyone should be fearful of is electing Kippen, Wassner, or Dahl. We may not always agree on every single issue, but when there is mutual respect, this woman's post, this is the tamest of this woman's post. This is literally someone who is unhinged. Mutual respect, she has no idea what that means. When you lie about someone, when you present facts, false facts, when you present that, that's not respect. That's not showing respect not only to them, but it's not showing respect to voters out there, the unsuspecting, the people that you're saying that conservatives are preying on. Those are the people you're preying on. You imbecile. How's that for mutual respect? I'm giving you the same respect back that you're showing to conservatives in this city. You're an imbecile. We can all agree that moving forward is our only future. In the words of Princess Leia to Obi-Wan, your only hope. Help me, Obi-Wan. Actually. So, this is, you know what? I don't care. Both of them, both this husband and wife have contributed to some outrageously scurrilous slander, absolute slander. And it's a shame. People, we should all feel ashamed that we have people in our community who really want to lie to us, who thinks it's okay to lie. I don't think it's okay to lie, and that's why I am supporting Adrian Balcom, David Day for place 1, Scott Turnbull for place 3, and Adrian Balcom for place 4 or 5. I do ask that you vote. Unfortunately, what I did hear is that there's only one voting location now. I don't know why you can't vote at the library. So please keep your eyes open when you are voting, and please report any irregularity. I don't trust what's going on in our city, but of course I don't have evidence of fact to support that, so I can't really. All I'm saying is it's my opinion. That's the difference between the difference between the liberal left and conservatives like me. When I don't know something, I'll tell you. They don't care. They'll say whatever is on the top of their mind. I thank you for being an informed voter. I thank you for being part of the conservative effort to control the growth of our city and preserve our wide open spaces. So as we move forward, I'll see you tomorrow, probably around the same time. And I hope that you have a great day. Don't forget that if you would like to, or don't forget to become a, don't forget to, what do you call it? Subscribe. Thank you. I was looking for the word subscribe. I couldn't come up with that. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It'll give you updates. And don't forget, I do not receive any monetary benefit from you subscribing. So just be with us. Don't forget to vote. Thank you for being with me today. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great one. Bye-bye.